This video is strictly for entertainment purposes only. These are just theories, not facts for context. Let's waste no time and jump straight into these waters.
People with high vibration show 3 unusual signs, according to Carl Jung. But Jung found that this ability to see everything was not a gift. It was so dangerous, it often destroyed people. Today, I will reveal the 3 unusual signs that mark someone as either extraordinary or on the verge of psychological collapse. In his clinical practice, Jung documented patients with what he called differentiated perception. These were individuals who could read micro-expressions, sense hidden emotions, and perceive psychological patterns that escaped everyone else. They saw through social masks, detected lies instantly, and felt the unconscious tensions in every room. Jung called this discovery dangerous because these people consistently ended up isolated, exhausted, and unable to maintain normal relationships. Not because they were unstable, but because seeing everything came with a psychological cost no one understood. This awareness was seen as a curse, making them too sensitive or overly emotional. Here is something most people miss about empaths and highly sensitive individuals. Society teaches them to suppress this power. They are weapons waiting to be forged. Every kind person who sees too much learns to doubt their perceptions, to apologize for existing, to silence themselves. But what happens when that suppression breaks? When someone finally trusts what they have always seen? The first unusual sign shows that these individuals are not weak victims. They are psychological geniuses in hiding. When Jung asked his patients with differentiated perception to describe their relationships, he expected scattered thoughts of damaged minds. What he discovered changed everything he thought he knew about empaths. These patients had not been broken by abuse. They had been studying it. Jung found that empaths kept detailed mental records of every person who had ever hurt them. They knew their abusers' triggers, insecurities, and deepest fears. They had mapped emotional patterns with surgical precision. It was like they maintained a strategist's war room in their minds. They catalogued micro-expressions, voice changes, behavioral patterns. They understood the psychology of manipulation better than the manipulators themselves. They could predict outcomes, forecast relationship disasters, sense betrayals months before they occurred. And here is what made Jung's blood run cold. They had never used this knowledge, not once, until something pushed them past their breaking point. These empaths process emotional information faster and more accurately. People with high vibration show.
Wow, there's a razor-thin line between extraordinary geniuses and complete utter madness. I do not recommend the path for anyone, but for those on it. Fight the good fight and learn to fully integrate yourself as Jung suggests. If this type of content resonates you so much that it's actually creepy, drop it in the comments below. And while you're at it, hit that like and subscribe button, and let's waste no time and jump straight back into these waters.
How crazy is it to think that your body could actually develop a defense system against synthetic biology? Because most people already have tons of nanotechnology in their system. There's just no way to avoid it. Everything has nanotech. Like, you can go in a grocery store and pick anything from food, even organic. It's everywhere. There's no getting around it. So we can't waste our time trying to say, oh, this has nanotech and that has nanotech. It's about neutralizing it. And what our theory was, well, the only way that maybe the body can actually adapt into these foreign nanoparticles and start fighting them and develop a defense system against synthetic biology. Like, how crazy is that thought, right? Like, how crazy is it to think that your body could actually develop a defense system against synthetic biology? And what we started seeing was the consistent people that were using urine therapy, the consistent people that were doing some of the stem cell cultivation, their bodies, after about 6 months of doing that, started developing and are developing biodefense systems against EMFs and against the conversion of a carbon-based, organic, God-based human to a silica alumina-based, cyborg. And this is very exciting news because nothing else out there is doing that. This is your own body transforming.
And it's free.
And it's free.
It's free. It's open to everybody.
How crazy is it to think that
These are just theories, not facts. For context, do your own research on everything.
I don't sound like conspiracy theorists, but the whole thing about us living in a simulation, whoever picked me as their video game character need to step at the all right? I got no money, I got no career, my nose is stuffy, the weather sucks. Put in cheat codes, man. God damn. I don't sound like conspiracy theorists, but
He asked for a cheat code, and who's controlling him? Well, maybe this might help. Do you know that your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit, or Ruach, which is within you, whom you have received as a gift from Yahuwah, and that you are not your own property? So if you wonder who's controlling you and who's in charge, well, hopefully this may help. I recommend getting that Ruach in you, that Holy Spirit.
An individual vibrating at 700 on Hawkins' map of consciousness counterbalances the negativity of 70 million individuals below a level of 200. An individual at 600 counterbalances 10 million people below 200. One at 500 counterbalances 750,000 people below 200. And an individual at 300 counterbalances the negativity of 90,000 individuals below 200. So you see, your vibration may be more important than you thought. And so we cannot allow ourselves to be swept up in the hysteria of what's being perceived around us. And instead, we have to go within and cultivate a holographic version of the world we want to see. We have to hear it, we have to touch it, and we have to feel it. And then we have to hammer it into our psyche over and over and over. We have to anchor the world we want to see. We can't continue to anchor the world they want to see.
You will then get an opportunity to choose. You can take, let's say let's just use this for hypothetical, a measly petty theft. You can spend 50 years in prison, or you can go through the Cognify process, which in 3 minutes, they will imprint memory sets. So let's say there was someone who was even harmed by the crime that you did. You will be able to feel the emotions of your victim, the emotions that the family members went through, all of that. You will be forced to have the empathy. Okay.
Wow.
Okay. And you will feel like you've been imprisoned for 25 years or whatever it may be, but it's only 3 minutes.
This is Black Mirror type stuff.
Yes. So it's only 3 minutes. And I'm not joking. You watch it and it will just blow you away. But remember, they say this is for the goodness of society. You will then get an opportunity to.
But will that really be justice for the families that's impacted by any type of crime versus carrying out their full sentence? That's like saying, okay, we're going to MK Ultra you for 3 minutes and it's going to be 25 years worth of punishment. Like, what if it doesn't work? What if they put the headset on or whatever and then they get done and like, oh yeah, I feel better. I shouldn't have done that. But did it really work though? Versus carrying out the full sentence. Drop your thoughts in the comments below.
Over 1,500 people called 911 a few days ago in Nevada, a little outside of Las Vegas, after hearing the most shocking sound, and there still to this day is no official explanation onto what the Sam damn these people were hearing. It sounds otherworldly. Listen to this video and we're going to talk about it.
So we all just got woken up to some disturbing sound all through the whole area. They just called 911 and they said they've gotten like over 50 calls about it.
Redstone. These are some old Aztec sandstones located 1 hour outside of Las Vegas. ancestors sing.
Now, I don't know about ancestors. To me, this sounds like something going on underground because they couldn't even pinpoint the sound. It sounded like it was coming from everywhere and nowhere at the same time. There's not like a big factory that was off-gassing or expelling some type of waste, whatever. This is like, they don't know what this sound was. Now, I have to think of tunnels. I have to think of deep underground military bases. We already know in Nevada there's a ton of deep underground, or at least massive deep underground military bases. Remember that lady came out, Catherine Austin Fitts, said they spent trillions of dollars on underground cities? So who knows if there's a vent somewhere. And by the way, the technology is so advanced today that you could be sitting somewhere like this, looking off into the distance at a mountaintop, and you wouldn't know there's actually an entrance there, but it is cloaked with holographic technology. And before you say that's kind of wild, let me just say this. There are many movies that show a hologram that covers a entryway into a cavern. And it looks like rock, but you can walk through it, or fly through it, or drive through it. This is in many different sci-fi movies, which we know they hide the truth in plain sight. So who knows if this was a tunnel, cave system, reptilians? I mean, let's talk about it. Let me know your thoughts below and follow for more. Over 1,500.
The first thing that came to mind was the Black Panther movie, you know, where they were flying straight. It looked like into some forest areas or a mountain, and actually it was a hologram, and they went right past it, and bam, they're in Wakanda. You don't want to get me started on these science fiction movies. I'm currently going through the Alien vs. Predator series, the whole thing in chronological order, where it started. Here's the chronological order. First you need to watch Predator Killer of Killers, then Prey, then Predator 2. Trigger warning on Predator 2, they got a couple scenes. You might want to keep your remote nearby so you can quick fast forward through the raunchy scenes. The Predators, it's 2010, and then it goes to Alien vs. Predators, AVP Requiem, which was terrible. The fighting scenes was cool, but you can tell they had a budget on that. And I'm on Prometheus right now. I watched Prometheus a while back, and that got me down this entire rabbit hole. I'm like, I wonder what the origins are of Predator and Alien. You know, I want to see engineers, you know, the engineers on Prometheus. I want to see the engineers versus the actual predators. Wouldn't that be a fight? And yeah, I still got all these to watch. And I did watch Predator Killers of Killers. It's an animated show. I believe it's on Disney Plus. Most of these are on Disney, surprisingly, but it was good. I liked it. I'm not going to ruin it for you, but it's they definitely open up a lot of possibilities with that animated show. If you watched any of these or are interested in it, drop in the comments below. I'd love to talk to you about it, but please, no spoilers.
CERN didn't accidentally tear a hole in reality. They intentionally opened India, symbolizing the universe's cycle of creation and destruction, a poetic nod to particle physics' chaotic ballet. But
the crazy part about this Shiva statue, do you guys remember that video a while back ago, like 8 years ago? It was called I Pet Goat 2, and they showed Shiva with her tongue out, you know, dancing and stuff. I believe it's a certain dance that she does, like a dance of destruction is the crazy part.
to the initiated, proof of occult intent. The statue's base, they said, hid fractal runes that glowed under black light, aligning with Hindu invocations to Kali, the black goddess of time, doomsday, and annihilation. They're summoning her, the post read. Ritual. The fuel poured in. They circulate that bizarre, deeply unsettling footage from the 2016 Goddard Base Tunnel opening ceremony. You remember the videos. 600 performers. Theatrical.
How do you explain this though? Like if you are working for CERN, like what's your excuse? Oh, this just was a demonstration of us going through the tunnels that was choreographed by an artistic team. No! This is pure demonic by the looks of it.
Choreography, horned, goat-headed figures dancing under harsh red industrial lights, while a mock human sacrifice was laid on an altar. Official explanations called it Swiss folklore, celebrating the tunnel's mythic roots. The internet called it a satanic invocation by the global elite. Then came the mathematical gymnastics.
Ooh, this is good. This lines up, y'all.
Conspiracy theorists twisting the Route de Mayrin address, the overlapping sixes of the facility's logo, and the site's elevation into the number 666. They scream about interdimensional demons. They scream about the Antichrist. They share grainy, allegedly leaked footage of cloaked figures performing rituals beneath the hum of the collider. Internet hysteria, conspiracy culture, white noise. CERN publicly denies everything. They issue polite press releases explaining that the Large Hadron Collider is merely a tool for studying particle physics. It does not summon Dark Lords. And here's the terrifying part. Publicly, they are telling the absolute truth. There are no demons. There is no hell. There is no occult prophecy. And there is no biblical beast waiting in the abyss. But what the public fails to realize is that hysteria is the ultimate camouflage. If the entire world believes you are a cabal of occultists trying to summon the devil, no serious journalist or government oversight committee will ever suspect what you are actually doing. CERN wasn't opening a doorway to hell. They were opening a doorway to Earth's future. And the absolute nightmare of this story, that future, was already looking back. Today, we are opening a classified dossier that officially does not exist. It is buried under Hunter Eyes clearance, Level 7 Omega. This is the story of Operation Veilbreaker.
Level 7 Omega, now it's getting good.
The year 6659, and the darkest, most terrifying secret the intelligence community ever kept. To understand the nightmare of Project Veilbreaker, you first have to understand the architects who built it. Far below the academic oversight, the public funding, and the guided scientific tours of CERN, sits a sealed, unacknowledged structure. It is buried deep beneath the Atlas detector. It is lined with dense lead, shielded by argon veils, and secured by biometric locks that require a living pulse to open. It is
argon veils. Interesting.
Is known on a strict, need-to-know basis as the D7 Continuity Wing. It isn't run by theoretical physicists. It is run by a shadow intelligence group that splintered off from the CIA in the late 1990s. Internally, they are known simply as the Dark Department. The Dark Department didn't worship the dark. They didn't conduct blood rituals. They just worked inside the world's blind spots. And in the winter of 2023, during an overclocked maximum energy test cycle, their instruments picked up an anomaly. CERN didn't accidentally tear a hole in reality.
For entertainment purposes only, these are just theories, not facts. Do your own research on everything. This does remind me of a video I was looking at a couple, I'll say 5-6 years ago, when I was really going down the rabbit hole, just, by myself. And I remember coming across the video. I don't know if CERN officially released it or what, but I could not find this video. And it was showing them an image that was 10 years in the future. And they were talking about how this building wasn't created yet, but they were talking about it. But the images that they got from CERN showed into the future 10 years of that building that was fully constructed. I can't seem to find that video anywhere, but I do remember it because I'm like, wow, they actually are generating images from the future. I just find that crazy. I don't know if the veil was too thin so they're able to see into it or what, but man, that was definitely creepy. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'm not done with you. We're diving straight back in.
Don't let them know you know. Do not let them know you know. Do not let your opposers know that you know that they are opposing you. It's that simple. Because when we wrestle against spiritual wickedness in high places, we don't wrestle against flesh and blood. So letting them know is not going to serve you. What you do is you attack that in the spirit realm. You don't let your opposers know you know that they're opposing you. Instead, you attack that spirit in the spiritual realm. And guess what's going to happen? That spirit is going to be defeated in the spiritual realm. God didn't elevate you for you to bask in the elevation. God elevated you so that you can fight demons on a higher level. That's what happens. With the elevation comes more battles and bigger giants and bigger devils. So when you went into the secret place, waiting on the elevation, when you went into the secret place, denying yourself, denying your flesh, you and God said, okay, she ready, he ready to get put in the next level to fight bigger devils. And now you dealing with some devils. They coming in secretly. They coming in all types of ways. Goodness gracious. But don't let them know you know.
I believe it goes, we don't wrestle against flesh and blood, but we battle spiritual wickedness in high places. That's why I be getting my Hayusin and my Tojin Dayo. You know what I'm saying? I pretend I'm in the spirit realm serving those demons. You know what I'm saying? With God on your side, how can you lose?
There's a reason why when we die, they don't put the bodies inside the ground. They put them inside the box because it's an encrypted energy. When you trap that energy, that creates stagnation to where the information is not able to go right back into the mycelial network of nature and work through humans to where we can learn from the mistakes from the humans that actually died. There's a reason why when you get into ancient Kemetic spirituality, the pharaohs, they used to extract the brain out the nose with a bamboo stick because they know that the brain is what keeps you connected to the simulation, which is a form of reincarnation when you study the holonomic brain theory. The brain is a physical vessel, and the physical vessel in itself is another way to keep you stuck on this planet. So this is why they did horizontal gene transfer. They transmute the consciousness and they take it and put it inside a different vessel. This is why Thoth was able to live about thousands of years, Enoch living for 800 years, while all these historical figures inside the Bible and Holy Quran and all this stuff, they was able to live that long because they was doing horizontal gene transfer.
So they was transferring their consciousness into other people's bodies?
Yeah, it's a Trinity principle. Anything that operates on the Trinity principle operates from supreme consciousness because it has to operate from the dualistic energies from the microcosm and the macrocosm. In between is the prana, which is the life force, and the life force in itself holds up the composition of the body, the conscious, the prana, the life force.
That type of technology been around in.
That's metaphysical spiritual technology that humans are not able to tap into because we're so subjugated by the external stimulations of it. There's a reason why when we die.
When I watch these videos, I do what I like to call eat the meat and spit out the bones. Not everything may resonate with you when watching my videos, but you can eat the meat and spit out the bones is what I like to call. But one thing that did resonate with me is when he was talking about the mycelium network and how like the earth can't learn that DNA information from the ground. Like when you're speaking about mycelium, that's extremely interesting because it reminds me of like on Avatar when they had that tree of life, like with the purple strands, and they were able to take their tail and wrap it around that tree and they could communicate with their ancestors. I just find that interesting when he was speaking about the mycelium network. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. What resonated with you? How demons and energy vampires drain you of your energy.
Of our energy. Please give us a breakdown.
According to the Akashic Records, demons and energy vampires drain human energy through a variety of multidimensional techniques, some subtle, some overt. These entities feed not on physical matter, but on life force, emotional energy, chi, soul light, and vibrational essence. Here's a detailed breakdown. One, emotional harvesting. One of the most common ways demons and energy vampires drain energy is by triggering and feeding off emotion, especially fear, anger, grief, shame, lust without love. When you are in a heightened emotional state without awareness, your energy body opens and leaks. Demons and vampiric entities hook into this opening, drawing.
I feel like humans get possessed by demons and they do this and they're harvesting the energy by operating inside somebody. Because I'm like, man, I've been through this before where, you know, every time you talk to them, it's they making fun of you or they're just talking junk. It's like getting your reaction and the demon inside them is literally eating and off of that energy that's making you feel terrible.
Bring your auric force like a siphon. The more reactive or unconscious the emotion, the more potent the energy they can harvest. 2. Mental loops and thought insertion. Demons often implant negative thought forms that loop obsessively in your mind. Self-hatred, worry, jealousy, guilt. These loops are not always yours. They are energetic parasites. Once the loop is active, your attention locks onto it. You keep feeding it with emotion and belief. That thought form becomes a feeding station for non-physical entities. This is why some people feel chronically drained even when nothing bad is happening. They are being milked by their own mental loops, seeded by external influence. 3. Aura puncturing and energy hooking. In lower astral dimensions, demons and energy parasites attach to your auric field or chakra system through hooks in the solar plexus to manipulate willpower, cords to the sacral to drain sexual energy, implants in the third eye to distort intuition, tears in the aura from trauma, drug use, or spiritual openness without protection. Once connected, these beings can slowly siphon your chi over time, often going unnoticed until you feel depressed, unmotivated, or psychically fogged. 4. Dream invasion and astral feeding during sleep or altered states. Your soul travels. If you're unguarded, demons and vampiric entities may lure you into false realities or dream traps, appear as seductive or helpful beings to gain access, drain your light body while your conscious mind sleeps. This is why you may wake up exhausted, anxious, or feel like something happened in the night but can't remember. These beings operate best when your conscious defenses are down. Feeding through other people, human hosts. Some energy vampires are not spirits, but people. Humans who are disconnected from source may unconsciously or deliberately drain others to survive. Signs include always making everything about them, leaving you feeling depleted after interactions, feeding off drama, attention, pity, or conflict. In some cases, demons attach to these people, using them as feeding vessels. This creates a second-hand parasitic loop where the demon feeds on your energy through the emotions stirred by the host. 6. Collective feeding structure.
Didn't we just say that?
On a larger scale, demons feed through mass fear events, media, war, and cultural trauma. These create huge emotional outbursts in the collective field. These dark entities stir up collective hysteria or division, feed on the energetic chaos, strengthen artificial timelines based in fear. The more people who react without consciousness, the more they feed. 7. Sexual drainage, unconscious or intentional. Sexual energy is one of the most potent forces on Earth. Demons and vampiric entities attach during sexual trauma or unprotected spiritual sex, latch onto the sacral chakra, drain through orgasm if not spiritually anchored. Some people unknowingly give away energy during hookups, porn use, or manipulation-based relationships, leaving open portals for long-term energetic leakage. 8. Consent through ignorance or loopholes. The Akashic records reveal that many beings gain access through unconscious consent. This includes unaware agreement through negative self-talk, saying yes in a dream without realizing it, accepting help from spiritual guides that are actually disguised entities, watching.
You gotta, real quick, you gotta think about when Yahushua, or most people know him as Jesus, was walking through the crowd and he felt someone touch him. He was like, who touched me? I feel as virtue has left my body. Like, I feel like that specific verse has a lot to do with what we're talking about. I can show you better than I can tell you. That's why you don't want anybody just walking up and touching you. Who touched me? I believe virtue. This is Luke chapter 8, verses 45 through 47. And Jesus said, "Who touched me?" When all denied, Peter and they that were said to the Master, the multitude throng thee and press thee, and sayest thou, Who touched me? And Jesus said, Somebody has touched me, for I perceive virtue is gone out of me. And when the woman saw that she was not hid, she came trembling, and falling down before him, she declared unto him before all the people for what cause she has touched him, and she was healed immediately. He's no joke. He's no joke. I know people come on my channel like, Chuck, you're super biased, man. I couldn't tell you what would make me stop believing this, because it doesn't even calculate in my mind. That's like trying to put it into a calculator and it just comes up air. It just doesn't make sense to me. There's more of a better chance of me converting you. Go ahead. Come on to the other side.
Listening to or engaging in media that weakens your auric field. They rarely violate free will outright, but manipulate your energy into agreement. 9. How to protect and reclaim your energy. To stop energetic draining, seal your aura daily with light and intention. Cleanse your energy body regularly with sound, water, smoke, or breath work. Cut cords and close portals after interactions or sex. Speak affirmations like, I revoke all unconscious agreements, I call my energy back, I am sovereign. Strengthen your emotional mastery. The less reactive you are, the less food you provide. Ask your higher self or spirit team to audit and remove any non-consensual attachments. Summary. According to the Akashic Records, demons and energy vampires feed on emotional, mental, and energy through hooks, cords, thought loops, and dream infiltration. They exploit trauma, fear, and unconscious behavior to gain access. Some use humans as feeding vessels or appear in seductive disguise. Most of their power comes from your lack of awareness. When you awaken, they lose access. Reclaiming your sovereignty and sealing your field breaks their hold.
Definitely extremely interesting. It makes you want to be extremely more careful who you interact with, and especially who you're, going to be with. The way I look at it, if you don't see yourself marrying that person, why even mess with them? But it's that time for the specimen of the day, ain't it? If you thought you weren't going to get another excellent specimen of the day today, think again. Oh boy, I using. All right, the purple fluorite has a secondary grown rounded octahedral blue fluorite on its surface and the needle-like white quartz at its base. All right. These are so extraordinary every time I place them. Like, it's like, I get wild every time. The rating I'm going to give this, we've been in the 9s a lot lately, and I'm still there. I'm going to have to give this a 9.2. And I'm going to have to call this the Glacier Winter Fresh Stone. The Glacier Winter Fresh Stone. It's like it's got like glacier gumdrops on it, on like a purple void slice of pizza. There's a lot of ways you could spin this specimen. I can't wait to hear your names and the ratings in the comments below. But that's all we got for today's video. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button on your way out, and go ahead and drop the code word in the comments below. Today's code word is hidden energies. Go ahead and drop hidden energy in the comment below. When you do that, that lets me know you're a real one. You made it all the way through the video and you really rock with your boy. And I just want to say thank you so much for your support. Be sure to check me out on Facebook. I'm posting 3-4 times over there as we're doing our own thing over there. So it's a lot of fun. I look forward to seeing all you guys over there. And yeah, we're going to continue banging these videos out, going live on Jet Ski Chuck, man. We are busy. But hey, this was the most mysterious TikToks on the internet today. See you later.